Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the Black Tiger Miner Crypto News Network. Today we're talking about XRP. Is XRP being manipulated? And other XRP news about the U.S. Senate Banking Committee hearing. XRP was also mentioned in that as well. So things are on the way to be turned up for XRP. XRP is now on the verge of a massive breakout. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. And make sure you share the video so we can get the word out about XRP. And let me know if you like the shirt. It says XRP Grayscale. Another big announcement coming from Grayscale soon. But excuse me. I'll let you guys know once the announcement is in the works. But I do like the shirt. You could get them on my link. I'll put the link in the description. But make sure you guys check it out and let me know either way. What do you think? You like it? You don't like it? You hate it? You love it? Either way it go, XRP is finally heading at a upward trajectory. So let's start the spotlight real quick. Let me see here. See if we can get this going and get into the XRP news. So this is the total. Let me see. This is why is my freaking computer keep freezing up? This is the crypto bubbles. So looks like TON is up 9.2%. I'm not sure why. Sui's up 7.4. Farcoin, the gift that keeps giving, is up 2.8. Radium is up 3.7. Caspa is up 0.2%. AI 16Z is up 5.8. Snake is up 0.8. SPIX XPX is up 1.5. Argo is up 3.2. Penguin's up 0.8. Gala's up 0.7. Link is up 3.1. AIZBT is up 5%. Cardano's up 1.6. Tile's up 2.7. Kato, whatever this is, 1.3. Bitcoin is up 0.7 to 87,000, pushing back up on that 90,000 mark. And Solana's up 1.6. Trying to figure out why my machine's acting weird. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments as well. Let me see moving forward. Look at the price real quick before we get into the announcements. So currently, on the hour chart, looks like the RSI is up and XRP's at $2.35 on the hour. 15-minute chart, we got two green candles. RSI is up. 5-minute chart, looks like it came back down a little bit, but it's coming down for us to pick it up. RSI is way up on the 5-minute chart. We'll look at the 1-hour chart and the 4-hour chart. We've got a green candle, RSI is going down. You switch this indicator to the MACD, which is the moving average divergence. So on the 4-hour chart, looks like we're losing volume, but there is a green candle, and the MACD had crossed and came down. On the 1-hour chart, looks like they're adding volume, MACD cross, and the MACD is coming up. On the 15-minute chart, we got two green candles. We're building volume. We had a MACD cross, and the volume is starting to push up. And on the 5-minute chart, looks like there's volume building, and the MACD is also up. So let's go to Twitter real quick. Let me know what you guys think about the averages so far. And let's see here. Let me see what is going on. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Price prediction for XRP going forward. What do you think XRP will hit in April? So this is the Black Tiger Miner Crypto News Network. Make sure you sign up and join the Discord. Had a lot of people join the Discord this morning, and a few people signing up for the Black Tiger Miner News Network. So let's see here. Korean Council confirms holding 1 million XRP as government officials report 9+ million worth of crypto holdings. Ripple launches cross-border payment services in Africa today with its new partner, Chipper Cash app, by leveraging Ripple's crypto-enabled payment solution, Chipper Cash, which has 5 million customers in 9 countries across Africa. What is this Chipper? What? That's weird. Interesting. Moving forward, Stellar's native token XLM, designed to keep transaction costs low, XLM per transaction, which makes your favorite for a big players or whales moving large sums across the border. So this is banks and financial institutions can now buy XRP, confirms Ripple. The XRP ledger will onboard over 150 million in 72 hours, confirms rumors. The CTF token has already onboarded Amazon and Walmart. Trade the CTF token. Breaking news, Ripple can now sell XRP to institutional investors. What? This is very bullish for XRP and Ripple. 44, a XRP has just approved by the $44. An XRP has been approved by IMF. Not 100% sure who IMF is, but that's also very bullish. Breaking news, Ripple can sell XRP to institutional investors. And this is Coinpedia. XRP lawsuit news, Ripple can now sell institutional investors, but SEC lawyer warns of legal challenges. This is SEC drops appeals, solidifying ruling that XRP secondary sales did not violate securities laws. Institutional sales still face scrutiny. Ripple settles with SEC for 50 million? Regains flexibility in XRP sales. Legal risks remain for institutional transactions under Section 5. The ruling, Judge Torres has previously ruled XRP's programmatic sales of Ripple's programmatic sales of XRP on secondary exchange did not violate securities laws. However, the direct sale of XRP to institutional investors was found to be a violation of security regulations. With the SEC choosing not to appeal, the ruling stands as a key precedent in the crypto space. Settlement details: SEC returns 75 million. As part of the settlement, the SEC has agreed to return 75 million of the $125 million fine originally imposed by Ripple by a New York judge in 2022, leaving 50 million to settle the case. XRP's future sales to institutional investors. Amidst the excitement, one user, formerly Twitter, commented that lifting the SEC's injunction would now allow Ripple to sell directly to institutional investors. The user said, while Ripple would still need to adhere to security laws. It would no longer be required to go through over-the-counter OTC desk and could sell directly to entities like hedge funds or private liquidity firms. That's interesting. So that means the price is about to get crazy, right? If they're not doing it over the counter anymore, things are going to get crazy for XRP. So back to X. This is just in, excuse me, JP Morgan expects up to 8 billion to flow into XRP ETFs. Very bullish. Just in also, I think I saw this yesterday. American Express to start manufacturing the first crypto spendable card in conjunction with Ripple. This should be very bullish news. I wonder why nobody else is talking about that. This is definitely going to push the price. Um, Shaping the future of XRP Ledger Fireside Chat. That's weird. When was this? Why is there no day on here? That would be interesting if there was actual information behind this. But breaking news, Ripple partners with banking giant in Africa for payments with XRP. Just trying to get the fan out the way there. Breaking news. Lots of breaking news today. Um, BRICS considers cross-border payment system. BRICS countries have successfully tested XRP in the past. Now, if folks, XRP will be the global standard soon. What is this? AA.com. So let me know if you guys have heard or seen or read about any of these articles. The AA. Who is the AA? BRICS considering new cross-border payment system. Building a financial infrastructure are very important for the development of trade and economies for our country, says finance minister. Istanbul, Russian finance minister said Moscow's working on financial instruments with BRICS, including a cross-border payment system. State-run news agencies TASS said Wednesday. At the BRICS platform, we're considering various financial innovations, including cross-border payment systems, which can be based in additional bilateral settlements and national currencies, taking into account digital technologies and digital financial assets. Moscow is closely following developing technologies. Building a financial infrastructure is very important for developing the trade of the economies of our country. Due to the Western countries' swift transactions against Russian banks, BRICS recently accelerated efforts to develop alternative payment systems. Um, Said the Russian budget will have smaller deficit this year compared to 2024, pointing out that the ratio of the budget deficit to GDP was 1.7 last year. He said the figure was planned to decline to 0.5 this year. Interesting. But as we keep it moving, this is the BRICS Pay Wholesale CBDC. And we got Russia, we got India, we got Brazil, we got China, we got South Africa. I'm not even sure what Paza is. Paza. But you can see Ripple is everywhere here. Ripple, Ripple, Ripple. It's time for Ripple to accelerate on up. So this is the incoming SEC chairman is pro XRP and has made digital assets a top priority. This is huge for the crypto space. Um, who would be the first to call Ripple hits 21K? That would be awesome. It's weird. How's Ethereum? 6,000, and Ripple's 21K. Yeah. XRP. So this is a video from Austin, and I think we actually have that. Yeah, I got the whole video here. So let's keep going. XRP headed to $15 very soon. I shared this to you when Ripple was at 50 cents. Now we're up 600%, still holding strong in the portfolio. Target remains $15. And that would be a heck of a push to get to 15. But we will see. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. If Ripple bought 10,000 worth of XRP, if you bought 10,000 worth of XRP 6 months ago, your position would be worth over 40,000 now. Compared to others, Bitcoin would be worth 13,000, Ethereum 7,000, Solana 8,000, and Cardano 20,000. Interesting. 18 ETFs filing to submit to the SEC. You should feel crazy bullish. So it looks like they keep adding more and more to these XRP ETFs. You best believe I'm picking them up as soon as one hits the market. Definitely probably going to go with this Fidelity and probably the Bitwise. And is there one for, there's not one for Grayscale. No, there's Grayscale. So yeah, we're definitely going to grab that Grayscale one as well. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. And as we move forward, this is Ripple's Monica Long institutional interest in XRP is surging. She must know something. The altcoin season 3.0 can start now. Get ready, XRP. Trendline has supported Stella XRP since mid-March. If it holds, a rebound could follow. I think this is mostly XML news. XRP will be $100 within a few days. Yeah, right. Do you guys believe that? This is a Federal Reserve declares XRP part of this is if the Federal Reserve declares XRP part of the USA financial system. That would be something definitely to keep an eye on. So let me know what you guys think about that as well. XRP could be worth $100 under circumstances, says crypto founder Pharma. I don't know. There's a lot of people putting out all kind of information, all kind of news, and all kind of updates about XRP. So let me know what you guys think about that. XRP should be worth over $100 under normal circumstances. XRP has long considered one of the most undervalued cryptocurrencies, despite its strong fundamentals and widespread adoption. Crypto founder Farah Idordu, the CEO of Alpha Lions Academy, recently stated that under normal market conditions, XRP should already have been trading above $100. This bold claim aligns with growing institutional interest in real-world utilities and the increasing adaptation of blockchain-based payment solutions. At the forefront of this movement is the Crypto Trading Fund, which has successfully onboarded retail giants like Amazon, Walmart into payment reward framework powering the EFT token, the only blockchain payment record reward system. Crypto Trading Fund is actively integrated XRP ledger technology in a mainstream commercial, facilitating over 2.3 million in transactions since while still in beta. While XRP's true value is much higher, Farr's argument isn't just speculation, it rooted in XRP's proven capabilities as a global payment asset. XRP's ability to process instant, near instantaneous transactions with minimal fees and makes it superior alternative to traditional banking systems and even other cryptocurrencies, with regulatory clarity improving and institutional adoption growing. Many believe XRP's position for a significant upward price movement. XRP's efficiency as a bridge currency for cross-border transactions has made it attractive. Options for banks, remittance services, and financial institutions. Its abilities to reduce transaction costs and eliminate intermediaries strengthens the case as the preferred asset for global payments. And other analysts argue that given these advantages, XRP should be valued higher than it is in the current market price. So that's actually a pretty good read as well. So let's go to what is Austin talking about on the BTM Crypto News Network about price manipulation for XRP.
Price being kept down? The short answer is yes. XRP, along with every other major crypto out there, every single day, in one fashion or the other, is being manipulated. And in my opinion, the price is being kept down for various reasons. And we're going to talk about that in this video. If you are new to me, my name is Austin. Please consider hitting that like and that subscribe here on YouTube. And if you're here on X, please give me a follow. I would appreciate it. Look, let's just air this out. Do I believe in the value of XRP? Do I think that XRP is going to go up and be a tremendously great asset to own and is going to 20x, 30x, 40x at some point years down the road? Absolutely. I'm on record. I've said that. I am an XRP holder. I am absolutely not an XRP whale. I continue to buy XRP even now, all that kind of stuff. I do XRP videos every single day, etc. But do I believe that XRP is being manipulated? Yes, absolutely. But you have to understand, crypto is an open and free market. Stocks are being manipulated every single day. There is manipulation going on in our financial systems. There is. And if you don't like it, the truth is we have no power in this situation because you're talking about billions and billions and trillions of dollars and Wall Street, whoever you want to blame, because there's different players in each of these different sectors that are pulling the levers and they're doing all of those kind of things. And in some of the manipulation going on in crypto is major offshore exchanges, it's market makers, it's it can be big financial Wall Street institutions and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's happening. And it's even more pronounced. Why? Because of lack of liquidity in the market, because the market, it just there, it's easier to move now. The price of XRP being kept down? Absolutely. I think it really is. It's just, it, it makes sense, right? If you look at the chart, it's happening. Some of you guys, also talk about, the XRPL private ledger, the public ledger, all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't really think there's manipulation going on in that context. I've looked into it, and that's probably its own video itself. But I'm talking about more of the major financial market manipulation going on every single day in crypto. And by the way, it's not just XRP, it's happening on Cardano, it's happening on Bitcoin and all that. And really, I'm just making this video to acknowledge that I am in agreement. It is there. And but also it's to have the dialogue of, okay, am I going to let the fact that there's market manipulation run me out of crypto? No. Am I going to let the fact that this is happening to XRP make me sell my XRP? No. Um, and for me, the reason is it comes down to that couple things I've said in a bunch of videos, that I believe that crypto is the last big financial frontier. It's the last major financial opportunity that we're really at the ground floor in. I mean, I think of it as like if I could go back to when the stock market kind of really first came online and first was a thing, right? It's almost like it's how I feel about it. And that's crucial for me. And I acknowledge that there's manipulation. I acknowledge that prices are being kept down on all major cryptos right now. And but I don't have the billions of dollars to go out and fight it or whatever. I just and I couldn't if I wanted to, right? And so I have to exist in that environment. That's it. This is how I see it. And so I just buy and I hold. That's it. Now I do use my own technology, my own trading indicator to buy the dip and to find opportunities to, like this one, 83, that went for 83 days was when XRP went up 469%. I will get alerts telling me when to buy and when to sell. And I keep alerts on a lot of different cryptos. So I'm buying cryptos. I'm just doing like little swing trades here and there and buying and selling, making 10, 15, 20% on those respective trades. So I use my own technology. And by the way, if you want to use it, you can. There's a link in the description below on YouTube. There's a link below here on X. It'll take you to this page. There's a discount code down that makes the software cost a little over $1 a day. And I have a 30-day no questions asked refund guarantee. So if you want to try it, you can. Give it a look. Okay. But guys, look, if you want to get mad and leave, then you're losing out. Then you're making a wrong choice, in my opinion. Leaving crypto is what I mean. I'm not leaving. I'm acknowledging that it's being manipulated. I'm acknowledging that the price is being kept down. But I want to be in existence in the crypto market. And even more so, I'm putting more money in the market because I still believe that buying at times like this, when the big, huge bull run comes, which it will, the capital will unlock mass market adoption. Regulatory clarity will unlock the gates for XRP. It will. I've got a bunch of tweets on my Twitter page, on my X page. I still call it Twitter. I do, because I'm old school. Links in the description below. If you're here on YouTube, there's a link to my Twitter. Go give me a follow there because I do post different content over there. XRP, crypto content, keeping you updated in different ways over there. So give that a look. I'm just not going anywhere. That's really what I want you to hear me say. And I believe fundamentally in crypto. And I think that XRP inside of crypto is the biggest opportunity. And I mean, it just is. That's how I feel about it. Even with everything that's going on, even with everything I've said, just how I feel.
So as you mentioned, right, I don't think XRP is going anywhere. I've been telling you guys over and over and over for months now. There is no reason for you to be worried about crypto. Crypto has proven the test of time and it is going to be around. So I'm not sure why people think Bitcoin was going to disappear. Clearly it didn't, right? XRP is next up with Solana and Ethereum, right? They're going to continue to push up. There's nothing that will slow or hinder the adoption of crypto. So make sure you continue to buy and hold and diamond hand. Let me get my little glove here. Diamond hand crypto, right? And hold, right? Because like you said, it's only a matter of time before crypto takes off, right? We've been suppressed. I'm not sure if it's being manipulated or why it hasn't taken off. But once people start getting interested and it actually starts to pick up, it'll be pretty hard to keep crypto down, right? Investors are going to flock to it. People are going to see the value and everyone will start investing in it. It's not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Moving forward, this is Oscar. Oscar had some information about the SEC's chairman of the banking institution, and let's see what he has to say.
Life happened, and
shout out to Oscar joining the Black Tiger Miner News Network.
Paul Atkins, the incoming SEC chairman, is speaking right now before Congress, already, confronting some people like Elizabeth Warren, her against crypto army, right? And look, guys, things are going to happen right now that are going to be changing the market and the prices. And I will show you the prices right now. Went down like 220 or something. XRP went back up right a couple hours ago. It's a lot of going on. And as far as tariffs, we see some information coming in a couple hours ago. Look at this. Justin, Ferrari, out of all the companies, Ferrari, to increase prices by 10% to offset President Trump's tariffs. What? Yep. I think a lot of people are like saying, are you joking? Well, it happens, man. April 2nd, right? As many of you know, April 2nd is going to be a time where everyone in crypto, including, of course, XRP, will be like, let's see what the damage is. But it's going to be a short-term pain, as we discussed yesterday. Take a look at the price of XRP right now. Literally, I mean, 8:30 a.m. Central Time here in the United States. Right now, it's about to be 10. So an hour and a half later, and green for the price of XRP. Can you believe it, guys? What is the price? Great question. That is 235. I said yesterday to all the people in X, a moment of silence for all the shorts who got liquidated. What do I mean with that? People are, long, in this case, shorting, right? Because they believe we're going to go much lower to under 2 or whatever. And they're getting liquidated right now because they're doing a bunch of leverage, risky leverage, right? And I'm very happy to see, guys, how the manipulation also goes both ways, right? Goes down, goes up. And I'm really happy to see the pumping coming in. If you go to BTC price, what is that, guys? Double bottom, right? And this actually, following the path of a nice rejection. If we take a look at this right here, we're going to be putting a price of 85,000, which is a pretty decent one. The price of XRP, well, that's stellar. Price of XRP right here, 230, right? So let's have a conversation on this, guys. Eleanor is there to present in the confirmation. You see Senator Scott from South Carolina. That's Elizabeth Warren, which you and I know Elizabeth was super close with Gary Gensler, right? And now, obviously, she wants some time. She wants to discuss. She wants to see what he's made of. That's Paul Atkins, and there's a few commissioners, right? So it's not only Paul, not only the chair, it's also the commissioners, which is going to be pretty interesting, fam. And that's why I've been listening a little bit live. And there's of course a lot of back and forth. The only person that I saw, which I think there's going to be more people, right? There he is. The only person that I saw asking about the crypto industry just moments ago was Senator Scott.
Well, thank
Let me mute this for a second. It happened before Warren. He didn't ask anything about, there you go. So right here,
playing and allowing digital asset innovation.
Thank you for the question, Senator. I believe that many of these activities are clearly legally permissible, and I would hope, if confirmed as comptroller, to engage on the hard work of determining ways constructively in which these activities that are lawful can be done within the system in a safe and sound fashion. I would hope that over the last 4 years, the agency, that is the OCC, Senator, has gotten some experience with respect to these assets, and so we'll be prepared to ensure supervision in a safe and sound manner going forward.
Thank you very much.
Question, Senator.
Guidance at the OCC that limited crypto companies' access to the U.S. banking system. Are you supportive of this effort to foster innovation in the U.S.? And if confirmed as comptroller, what role do you envision the OCC continuing to play in allowing digital asset innovation?
So that was a great question, right, that we just heard. He also asked Paul right here. Let's go ahead and right here.
Work, if I'm confirmed, to try to make sure that we increase the morale of the agency, that we cure some of the
been a priority of mine, this committee, and frankly, the Trump.
So, I mean, you can hear, right? I mean, he was one person that I heard previously that he was asking, and he asked Paul about the, crypto industry and how Chokepoint 2.0 was affecting the industry. And he's like, of course, we're going to help out. And there's a new wave coming in. So I'm bullish. I think the way that this is going forward, right? Oh, there's another big one too, asking about question. Could be a reason that the price is going higher. It's these are good news, guys, and I'm just very happy to bring it to you guys. Drop a like, consider subscribing to the channel, fam. Turn on those notification bells, and take a look at the links down below where you can start trading, buying and owning some crypto. We have right now a partnership with BitUnex, and BitUnex, guys, there's giving up to 8,000 in new user bonuses. So you'll find a first link down below with BTCC. Shout out to them because we got a lot of people there. It's all fine. It's all great. But also I'm having another partnership with another exchange, BitUnex. So you can sign up with my second link down below and you will find this picture and you will find more information once you click, sign up, put everything, and it takes a few seconds. All right, fam? So this is just info for you guys to consider if you want to start trading and enjoying some pretty nice rewards. And at the end of the day, I like to trade. I like to be bullish. I understand that when you zoom out, right, the big picture comes out and only in due time. Now, following with this conversation, guys, Eleanor says the following, right? Here it is, Tim Scott, right? So that's kind of like the question here. Chairman Senator to Atkins, one thing I can say about the SEC is that under your predecessor, there was no golden age when it comes to crypto, right? He went on to list some of the low points of the SEC under Gensler. Atkins says that all the prior issues are disturbing and he commits to getting to work and boost agency morale, right? So that's good. Warren asked, obviously, about, issues. And that's good. We go up the way here. Atkins signals his intent to pull back from the heavy-handed enforcement. It takes industry experience and focused application to make sure customers and investors benefit from efficient, effective, and well-designed regulation. Our mission at the SEC should be to facilitate, right, which is nice. And that obviously helps anyone, especially in our crypto industry, guys. It's going to be a good, nice ride once he gets confirmed. And like I said, man, it's I will just give it the benefit of the doubt, right? The benefit of the doubt and see how things are rolling out, for the SEC. One of the things that we know is that the SEC will take care of the securities, and of course, the CFTC commodities will take care of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was not going to be in the purview of the SEC, only securities, and we'll see where Ethereum and XRP fall. Will they fall under the CFTC? If that's the case, it's going to be mega bullish for them, especially for XRP, since we haven't heard the government say that it is a commodity, right? So we know it is not a security, but it does have an issuer. All right, fam. So that's that. And when it comes to the tariffs, by the way, I have no idea what's going on with this. It's everywhere on X, but new fads when it comes to the world and the internet, right? It was the guy with the water and the banana and then jump into the pool at 3 p.m. And now it's this classic. But so far, guys, we also have this Ripple and Chipper Cash partnership. I saw this one a couple hours ago. So just in, Ripple with Chipper Cash to enable instant, cost-effective cross-border payments into Africa via crypto and Ripple Pay. Let's go. Everybody, don't you know, pump it up. I'm saying, man, what I told you yesterday in my message to all of you, and right now, there's a lot of things going on. People are getting liquidated who are shorting, and right now with the price going up, so bullish only. Thanks for watching. Sign up with the links down below. I'll see the comments, and I'll take care.
So shout out to my main man, Oscar, for that video as well. Let me see. I thought I were putting these somewhere. Let me check real quick for later postings. Need to update the hello. It's weird. Not copy? That was a pretty good video. So moving forward, whatever. Moving forward, this is who we got? Oh yeah, Levi. Let me go back and check. Okay, here we go. This is Levi, and if you hold XRP,
Luckily
you're
for you
already
guys, if you
rich.
currently hold XRP, you're already rich. I'm going to explain why that is in today's video and why you need to absolutely lock in right now. You have the opportunity to make a lot of money at this moment, and you're only going to do that if you take advantage of what is right around the corner. And so I want to talk about what's going on here with geopolitics, because we all know this is the number one deciding factor on potential future price action, whether that's to the upside or the downside. Most notably, as of right now, it is tariffs. Nobody can deny that. And so President Trump has been saying a lot of very crazy things when it comes to tariffs on all cars. He's saying essentially 25% tariffs on all cars not made in the United States of America. Now, I want to remind you guys, this is on top of all of the other reciprocal tariffs that will be going live on April 2nd. So April 2nd is looking to be probably one of the biggest bloodbaths that we've had in recent times, at least, when it comes to the price of a lot of digital assets and technology stocks. This is something that we definitely want to get ready for. If Trump's messaging does not change from March 27th right now all the way up to April 2nd, we're gearing up for a pretty crazy market. Now, it is entirely possible that Trump changes his mind last minute on April 1st and the markets rally. But right now, the markets are pricing in some very potentially negative price action. But what I will say is there's not quite as much downside as I thought there would be with these types of announcements. Previously, when Trump was making these types of announcements, we saw the markets actually go down 30% in a single day. But following this 25% on all cars not made in the United States announcement, which by the way also affects car parts, not just the car itself, well, the markets are holding up surprisingly well. And so, yeah, I'm going to talk about a lot in today's video, mainly how we're going to make money with this. But let's talk a little bit more about the impact, right? These are all the car brands which are very popular in the United States that are impacted by these tariffs because the Audi 100% imported, Porsche 100% imported, Ferrari 100% imported, BMW with 50% of US sold cars made in the US, Mercedes 50%, Stellantis 60%, and Volkswagen 15%. So you can see right here, based off of this, this tariff, that this is basically just almost entirely targeting Europe. Most of the South Korean and Asian car brands, those are actually built in the United States or Canada, which there are some issues there too with the United States and Canada, but nonetheless, yeah, you can see this is actually going to be targeting a lot of these German brands, European brands very heavily. And so this is going to be a very interesting time for the auto industry, something that's not been seen in a very long time. Essentially, what Trump is saying here is like, okay, well, you guys in Europe, you don't buy our cars anyways. We don't really have any incentive to buy yours. So this is what I'm going to do. You guys can just deal with it and you can remove all tariffs on our cars in your country and start buying them there, or these tariffs are staying on and our consumers will not be buying your products, or at least won't be buying them as much. So, I mean, it's a step forward. Now, whether this is a step in the right direction or not is completely up for debate. And I understand both sides. But what's going to definitely be happening in the short term is price for a lot of these vehicles mentioned here are going to be going up. I mean, that's just simply put what's going to happen. This is what happened with Ford in Europe when Europe put tariffs on a US made cars. And of course, nobody's really driving Fords in anywhere in Europe. I mean, people are driving Teslas there, but still, those tariffs do affect a lot of brands very heavily. Now, with that being said, though, there is a lot of positive things happening right now as well. Sure, these tariffs might have some short term bad impacts, but long term, Ripple has just established one of the most highly impactful partnerships the world has ever seen. And this, my friends, all of you guys need to pay attention to this because this is what's going to actually drive price impact on XRP in the long term. In the short term, no, this is not going to cause a massive boost. But what this is going to do is going to allow millions of more people to come in. So what is this update? Well, you can see Ham Saranjogi is announcing an exciting and highly impactful partnership with Ripple today. Ripple is a global leader in digital payments infrastructure, powering over 70 billion in cross-border payments. With this integration into the Chipper Cash App platform, Ripple payments will expand their reach into Africa, and millions of people across Africa will be able to receive faster, more affordable payments from around the world. Now, for all of you guys who are unaware, generally speaking, when there is a massive US product that's being brought to market, it is first tested in, well, not so rich nations, either the Philippines, Africa, sometimes in some South American countries. They'll test their products out there, they'll see how they work and how consumers use it, and then they'll bring it to their native markets where, of course, it costs more to do so. But they get, of course, the most amount of use and benefit from it at that point because it's already been tested in these less strong economic markets, not as developed nations. And so this is actually a really big deal. This is basically the first stepping stone to getting Ripple adopted on a global scale. Africa, massive population. It is the perfect testing ground for these types of financial products. They can work out any kinks, any issues, any errors, anything that might stop this from being used in a larger market in Africa where they desperately need some kind of alternative. And this, my friends, is what's going to allow XRP to truly make you guys rich in the long term. And listen, if your favorite product, whatever you like to buy, your favorite food, if it was going for half off, are you going to be buying that or not? I mean, be honest with me. If you have a fridge that you've been waiting to buy for 5 months and you see it's going for half off, would you buy that? Yes or no? These Trump tariffs, that's essentially what he's doing for you guys. He's allowing you in the short term to get a massive price discount on your favorite digital assets. Pretty much all of them are following a very similar price trajectory, XRP included. And yes, XRP is indeed down today. We do look at the charts right here. We can see we're down 2.38%. And if you look at the last couple of days, it hasn't been a lot of movement. And so these are opportunities to actually buy the dips. And I do think it's going to get quite a bit more bloody come April 2nd. And so I'm just letting you guys know this ahead of time because it's a very probable likelihood that in the next 7 days it's going to be pretty bloody based off of Trump's messaging right now. And so, yeah, you're basically going to be able to acquire XRP at a massive discount while they are establishing the most influential partnership in the world, which is Africa Payment Landscape, the first step of many in order to see XRP get absolutely mass adopted and scale up and eventually serve billions of people in the future. And that undoubtedly will allow XRP to go way higher than 10x of its current price right now. But seeing millions of Africans starting to use this, I mean, let's just be honest. If they use this, it saves them money. It's more efficient, and more and more people start talking about this. Like, hey, I'm sending payments with Ripple. It's really easy. Then businesses start doing it. It can be a massive snowball effect. So we really need to ensure that this is going to go smoothly. This is exactly what Ripple needs, and this is absolutely amazing for the future of cryptocurrency, showing the world that it can be indeed used. So listen, I'm going to be providing signals for all of my personal futures trades in my Discord and Telegram VIP group where we make up to 400% monthly. I don't want you guys to miss out on this. You have to lock in right now. You have to really put your best foot forward right now because this is a time to make money. You have Trump giving us an opportunity by lowering the price of all of our favorite assets so we can buy at a discount. And then you have massive developments happening and the Federal Reserve getting ready for quantitative easing later on this year. They're still talking about 2 rate cuts later on. This is exactly what we need to make a tremendous amount of money. this is your chance. This is the bull run. We're going to peak sometime in the next 12 months, most likely. And so this is where we make all of our money. So go to Levi Crypto Crusaders, my link down below. Sign up on one of our 2 partnered exchanges, which give you massive bonuses if you use my link and click here, by the way. Then deposit at least $100 and you can just transfer from any other crypto exchange onto one of those 2 exchanges I mentioned and complete this form right here. It's that easy. Name, email, exchange, user ID, which will be on your exchange account. Once you create that account, you type it in right here and then you press unlock membership. You're going to get an email right away, which will give you access to my Telegram and Discord, where I will give you all of my trades and my daily updates on my thoughts of the market so that you guys know exactly what to do and when and how to actually learn to trade and make yourself a lot of money. Teach a man to fish. That is the lesson here, guys. So smash that like button, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace out.
So shout out to Levi on the Crypto News Network. Rolling forward, this is huge breaking news about XRP.
Hope you all are having a fantastic day out there. We have some huge XRP updates put out on your radar here today. Let's put some positive vibes out there and drop an X in the comment section. Click that like button if you like talking about Ripple and XRP, and share the content far and wide. Let others around the world know what is truly happening in this digital revolution. That's what we have to focus on, the truth of the reality of this digital revolution, because many are saying out there, hey, can we get some bad news? We're getting good news, great news, wins stacked upon wins, but we're not seeing it in price appreciation for digital assets like XRP right now. If you're a true investor, you know what you hold with XRP. You know the price appreciation is going to come, and it always has. You got to have stamina. But I want to focus on that as we talk about everything collectively: news, macros, price, both the bearish and bullish in this video. Now, Ripple has a new partnership with Chipper Cash. I don't want to go too in detail with this, other than the fact that there's 5 million customers that Chipper Cash has in Africa, and they are across 9 African countries. Reason I don't want to go too in depth with it, because it's been out 3 or 4 hours, which in this industry and crypto seems like 3 or 4 decades. Crypto news comes rapidly throughout the day, and a lot of you have probably already heard and know that back in 2023, on Africa also partnered with Ripple. And what they're doing over in Africa is saying, hey, let's get them straight into the Ferrari. See, here in the United States, the plumbing is the issue of the financial system, really all over the world. That is the issue, but we don't see it here as much in the United States and other developed countries out there, because we have debit cards, credit cards, financial institutions, banks that we can easily have access to. In Africa, that is not the case, but that allows for a huge, huge market opportunity. And right now, we know that Ripple has 90% coverage of daily FX markets, processing 70 billion with a B in volume. And this is pre-true mass adoption. As we move forward in regulatory clarity, and we got some things on that here today I want to put out, you're going to see that number fly. Now, the CEO put out of Chipper Cash, we're announcing an exciting and highly impactful partnership with Ripple. Ripple is a global leader in digital payments infrastructure, has been over 10 years, powering 70 billion in cross-border payments. Now, speaking of Ferrari, we know yesterday it was put out about the auto tariffs, right? Here today, Ferrari puts out they are increasing prices by 10% to offset President Trump's tariffs. Now, the market yesterday on tariff news, it took a little bit of a dip, not so much here today. Pretty flat market among the stock market and cryptocurrency market, at least at this point in time. So kind of good to see that we're seeing a lot of this tariff talks and trade wars going on, not as much of an impact as it was prior to the markets. Also, I want to put this out. Fantastic news. The Senate has just passed. This came out 14 hours ago from Eleanor Terrett and Bo Hines, but fantastic news. Has passed the CRA to nullify IRS DeFi broker rule for the second time, with a final vote of 70 to 28. Now it's going to Trump's desk, and of course, he's going to sign this, guys. What is this going to allow? Well, brokers no longer will have to report taxes, right? And so that's great for the opportunity to get capital gains tax eliminated. And so also the exchanges, when you take a look at the exchanges, the amount of capital that they have to spend and time and manpower in terms of taking a look at taxes is no longer going to be a huge issue. And so this is incredibly bullish for the industry as a whole. On top of that, we have a vote here today, Sunshine Act. Now let's talk about what's going on with price action. We recently heard that the Ripple and SEC case is over. This is, of course, highly bullish for Ripple and XRP in the near and more distant future. This coin's chart is signaling momentum, my friends. Now, if we take a look at the RSI, which is in the purple, after plunging close to 30 at the end of February, has worked its way up to 50. We also see XRP's 30-day average in orange resuming its climb to the 200-day, which is in blue. However, it's arguable that the 30-day has been elevated for too long and that XRP is actually due for a correction in the not too distant future. And so that is your bearish side of things. Now, this could come in the next few weeks, given that the wider market still remains somewhat skittish as a result of these tariff talks and dispute between U.S. and various nations. The macro situation, if the macro situation does in fact stabilize, XRP right now is in a great position, guys, for renewed optimism and a pump. And so what we have right now from the fundamental side and technical side under the hood is very bullish. Now, lastly, guys, I want to play you this 29-second clip. It is from the Senate committee holding a nomination hearing for Paul Atkins, who we remember is taking Gary Gensler's place, pro-crypto, to be the new SEC commissioner. We talk a lot about understanding what we hold with XRP, but also knowing what's coming. And regulatory clarity has always been the number one thing that's held this industry as a whole back in the biggest way. So I want to play you this clip, guys. I appreciate all your support and time. If you don't mind clicking the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. We'll see you all in the next one.
17, I've led industry efforts to develop best practices for the digital asset industry. I've seen how ambiguous and non-existent regulation of digital assets create uncertainty in the market and inhibit innovation. A top priority of my chairmanship will be to work with my fellow commissioners in Congress to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets through a rational, coherent, and principled approach.
So that was multimedia. Actually, I thought that was anyway. But moving forward, I'm trying to see if we should do this WK show. Let me see, hold up. I guess we'll move on to Crypto Silly. Yeah, let's try Crypto Silly real quick and come back to, we got two of the JVC show. Actually, I think I know what that is. But yeah, let's do Crypto Silly and then Zach Humphreys.
XRP, we're also going to discuss Swift. It does partner with Ripple. What can that look like? There's a great clip here. Also, Trump getting into the ETF game. We also have Jay Claver talking about 4-year cycles and so much XRP news in this video, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. I am your captain on this voyage. I'm Crypto Sensei. It's an honor to be here with you. I hope you're having a great week. Let's get into this information. All right, here we go.
And sitting on the treasury desk of a big bank or a wholesale fund manager or something like that. I'd say potentially I've got 100 million going out.
Okay.
But the problem is I don't know when that 100 million is going. I think it's going in 2 days because generally if I do an FX deal, it's going to be trade today plus 2 days. So
Okay.
Used to be 3. So if nothing goes wrong, it should settle in 2 days' time. But me as a bank, I have to hold an extra 100 million just in case, waiting for this thing to settle. And if it doesn't settle in 2 days, I'm still holding 100 million extra.
Wow.
Because the money's got to come out, right?
Exactly.
So
Okay, so she's talking about Nostro Vostro, FX transactions. You need money on both ends of the transactions. On this side, if you're going, let's say, US dollars to Great British pounds, you need US dollars on the one side, Great British pounds on the other. The same value, right? So that's what she's talking about if you didn't know.
I've got 100 million. I'm waiting for it to come out. I've liquidated some assets on my side because I've got to physically pay out the 100 mil to you.
Okay.
But if it doesn't settle, I'm still holding 100 million
Wow.
in my Vostro account, in my bank account, just my bank account with Bank A, right?
Exactly.
So 100 mil sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. And there's a huge opportunity cost of me as a bank holding 100 million. It's not just the opportunity cost that I could use that money to invest in something else. You know, I could lend it to my property team to buy a building. I could lend it for another security. I could lend it to my equity department, whatever. But the fact is I've got to hold this in my account until that cash flow settles. And then what people don't seem to understand with Ripple, because they're scratching their head going, how do the banks, you know, get rid of all these costs? Well, the thing is, think about what it means to monitor 100 mil, right? In middle office, you've got credit people, you've got settlements people, you've got legal people, you've got risk people, you've got trading limit people. Me as a dealer, I've got exposure to you.
Really quickly, FX market, just to give you some context here, they do about 6 to 7.5 trillion a day. The average payment is $1 million. Let's say we're using 7.5 trillion a day. That's 7.5 million payments a day. The average cost of an FX transaction is either 1 to 4%. It can be higher. Sometimes it can be lower, depending on who you're dealing with. Any time you have that 1 to 4% of that amount of money, you're paying 50, 100, 150 billion dollars a day in fees. That could, you know, if you take that out to an entire year, you're talking about 20 to 50 trillion dollars in fees generated. This is why banks don't want to move quickly. She also went through a bunch of really interesting things right here. She's talking about the back office. How many people does this network that's 5 decades old, how many people does it employ, right? You need all of these people involved to verify this transaction, or you could use a smart contract. What is going to save you and banks more money, right? Yes, the people that have these jobs now will have to be retrained on something else, right? Maybe they are retrained to understand and learn and process blockchain transactions, but these people will have to be retrained all the same. It's just like robots and AI taking certain industries by storm. Same situation happening with crypto. Let me go ahead and back up a little bit, because if you missed what she was saying there, it was really important. Let me play it.
Well, the thing is, think about what it means to monitor 100 mil, right? In middle office, you've got credit people, you've got settlements people, you've got legal people, you've got risk people, you've got trading limit people. Me as a dealer, I've got exposure to you because I've done a deal with you where I've had to give you 100 million US, say.
Yeah.
But that thing hasn't settled yet, but it's still a contingent liability from my perspective. So all my risk people at middle office level are monitoring me, because I've got a limit that's being used against you. I've got a settlement limit being used against you and a credit limit being used against you, but no cash flows settle. So you've got all these middle office people monitoring all this risk. Plus I've got to worry about my exchange settlement account with the Reserve Bank of Australia.
Exactly.
Now, if you bring an instant at 1, 2, 3, the cash flow is instant, you basically get rid of a whole middle layer of middle office.
Yep.
Wow.
You don't need these risk people.
Yep.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying.
All right, let's keep it going. Trump Media to partner with crypto.com to launch ETFs. Big step forward. Now, actually, this is Trump Media, so this is True Social. Interesting part. XRP ETFs, that would be juicy. Jay Claver here talking about a 4-year cycle. He's talking with Zach Rector, 57-second clip. Let's listen up.
There's so much strength in the fundamentals and the undercurrent behind cryptocurrency, but it seems like we're still correlated with the broader stock market, which is very fragile. So what's your take on kind of the market volatility that we've seen recently?
Well, I mean, it's still nascent, right? It's only 3 trillion. So it's total market cap here. So it's still a risk on asset. And to your point, directly correlated with the stock market when breadth opens up there, or if the reverse carry trade or tariffs or whatever other narrative you want to put on it starts to put some pressure on things. They move in tandem. I'm hoping here in the near future, we're going to get some adoption at scale of some of these assets.
Mhm.
And then I think you're going to see a big break in the direct correlation between, these risk on assets and the stock market and crypto. I don't know that people are going to be ready for that. I think the paradigm of the 4-year cycles is what everybody gets wrapped up in. And
Yep.
I think that that's going to continue, but I'm pretty confident that we're going to have some disruption this go around with regulation.
All right, so Jake's saying that 4-year cycles might be a thing of the past. Right now we've been kind of following the stock market, and as other factors, maybe that the U.S. is doing with policy is affecting the stock market, that's affecting the crypto market. He's saying that eventually, because of clarity and banks coming in and actually adopting the technology now, that we might be able to break the chains, break through the 4-year cycle. It'd be interesting to see if it plays out like that. That'd be great for me and you, right? I would love 24/7, 365, decade plus of positive XRP news. Sign me up. Sign me up, please. Japanese real estate giant Open House Group. Great name, by the way. They're accepting Doge, Solana, and XRP. Open House is already accepting ETH and Bitcoin. Now, imagine you're in the meeting. You work for Open House Group, and somebody brings up, hey, you know what? We're already accepting Ethereum, Bitcoin. Let's accept XRP and Solana too. And some random, 19-year-old in the back corner that just got hired 2 weeks ago is like, what about Doge? Okay. Hey, good for everyone, I guess. This is a price glitch unlike very few I've ever seen with XRP. It's amazing how many price glitches happen with XRP. Is it me? Am I crazy? Or do you notice this too? Right? 21 million per XRP. I'll take it. Sell. Man, I couldn't sell quick enough at that point. Yeah, 21 million. Like, I'd be offloading some XRP. I mean, I wouldn't have to offload much to get $1 billion, right? 21 million, 100 million is 5. You're basically talking about, 100 XRP. Sign me up, baby. Maybe not even that. The core vault in F assets V1.1 helps agents. Sorry, we're going to look at Flare now because there's a lot of things happening with Flare. And I have 2 tiles here talking about XRP ledger staking and what's on this tile. So let's go ahead and get into this. What is the core vault? The core vault is a dedicated vault address on the XRP ledger that facilitates efficient liquidity management. Agents can transfer XRP to the core vault, free up Flare collateral to mint further F assets or just their collateral usage. Daily operations. Each day, agents can deposit funds in the vault and user agents can request withdrawals. The core vault handles this in a structured process and payment made at a scheduled time. Escrow release funds from the previous day. User and agent withdrawals are fulfilled. Excess XRP is locked in new escrow accounts. This is kind of what it looks like. Deposit, withdraw, core vaults. Here's the Flare network under here, underlying network over here. All right. And then here is what this looks like here. Core vault balance. If you want to pause the video and take a look at this in more detail, please do so. It does talk about security first, and then when. Go ahead and read all this if you want to. It says no automation, signing, escrow system, daily withdrawal cap. Let's go ahead and get into this one because this one could be juicy. Flare's institutional partners building XRP staking on Flare. When you stake your XRP on Flare, you will be securing networks and services across multiple ecosystems. In return, you will be earning tokens from the services you stake to. Staking is very low risk as validators rarely mess up. That is comforting. Staking is very low risk. People very rarely mess up when it comes to staking. That makes me feel real good. Few things here. Obviously, before you do any type of staking, you should research it and really understand what you're doing. Some pitfalls I have fallen victim to in the past because I wasn't paying attention because I was rushing through this years ago when I was first learning about this. Really not a smart idea. I locked up some crypto that was locked up for 6 months, 12 months. Shit, I have locked up crypto from 2021. It was locked up for 3. Wait, it's been 4 years and it's still locked up. I need to go check it. Please whenever you're staking anything, doesn't matter if it's XRP, Flare, whatever, make sure you understand, how long that's going to be locked up for, what your return is expected to be. Remember, those returns can vary depending on how much XRP is locked up in that pool, right? If you get to a pool early, it might have a really ridiculous number. And then, a week or 2 weeks or a month will go by and that will come way down. When you unstake whatever asset it is, understand how long that's going to take to unstake and how long until you can get your funds back, right? And how long your funds will be staked for. Please talk with a financial advisor to understand all of the ramifications around staking. But on a positive note, native staking is coming, so you can stake on the XRP ledger or you can stake through Flare. Both of these things will reduce the circulating supply of XRP, which could bring up the value and the price of XRP. Also, Crypto Basic put this video out, Road to 100. Just to be transparent with you guys, I don't trust nor do I like the cryptobasic.com. But I got an email from somebody about this and I wanted to address it. Okay. So let's take a look at what they're saying here. Like if you really want to understand a legitimate news source, CoinDesk, CoinMarketCap, Cointelegraph, these are at least, I would consider, a higher, more respectable news agency than the Crypto Basic. The Crypto Basic often pulls information from random Twitter people posting on Twitter, which they might not be experts, right? And they might not have any real factual knowledge about something. They're just posting random stuff and Crypto Basic takes it. Okay. Several factors such as the launch of XRP ETFs, greater institutional demand, and a thriving regulatory environment could help push XRP to 3 digits. XRP continues to battle the bears around $2.45 resistance despite recent bullish developments. This is largely due to the broader market uncertainty as Bitcoin remains tethered at 87,000. Nonetheless, analysts expect the recovery run to push XRP to all-time new highs. Listen, I have seen expert after expert after expert begin to talk about a 150,000, 200,000, a 400,000, a 500,000. I mean, I've even seen a 700,000 Bitcoin prediction. Realistically, where do I think Bitcoin is going to go? Maybe 150K, maybe 200K. If we're lucky, anything above that, it would be like a gift from God. Obviously, when Bitcoin goes that high, people tend to take profits. Those profits tend to go into Ethereum and other altcoins. And that's usually when we have that final explosion of the crypto market. Sometimes it happens pretty quickly. Within a few weeks, things can go from, not doing anything to insanely new all-time highs and then right back down. If you take a look at any big, large crypto asset in 2021, you will see just in a few weeks that it explodes and then it comes back down. So be prepared. Whatever asset you are holding, if your plan is to take profits in this bull market, you might have a short window when that does happen. You will know it is happening when you see Ethereum starting to explode. When you see Ethereum going to like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, that is the time to be paying attention. All right. Interesting. Some market commentators like Armando Pantoja. Okay. Now I get where this came from. Has predicted a possible rally to $100. Sure, he did. While a substantial rise may seem ambitious, a combination of key factors could potentially drive. I worry when I watch clips from this person. Some of the stuff that he says doesn't quite make sense to me, but I get it. Now I can see why the person wanted me to go over this. Resolution of the SEC lawsuit. Obviously, this is done. We don't really need to read that. Launch of XRP ETFs. We already know there's 9 financial institutions.
Shout out to crypto. I guess this is Sensei. I don't know. But that was pretty informative video. Let me know what you guys think about that as well. And you can check out my channel to watch the rest of the video. But I wanted to squeeze in kind of debate if I want to do the Zach Humphrey one or not. Let me see if we can squeeze Zach Humphreys in real quick. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I guess, I don't know. Which one is shorter, actually? Yeah, let's look at this. XRP with the WK, the JWK
things
show.
short and concise. Thank you to our sponsor, crypto exchange Bunex. The link is in the description below. We have an investment case by XRP by Bitwise Invest. These guys are an XRP ETF applicant, the third applicant to file for an XRP ETF. And we have the price targets for XRP for 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, and 2030. And so these are the price predictions from one of the biggest crypto institutions. We have a bear case of 13 cents, bull case of $12.68, and a max case of $29.32. So we have Bitwise being very bullish on XRP, talking about a $30 XRP by 2030, which is pretty good compared to any other investment, right? Around a 15x is quite awesome in a 5-year span. But we can see, guys, we have the max case for 2025, 2026. That is $4.48 and $6.53. But guys, based on the XRP insiders, we should see XRP going absolutely parabolic from 2025 to 2026. So, in my opinion, we could see a $29 XRP not by 2030, but by 2026. But bottom line, Bitwise Invest is bullish on XRP. And we do have the latest update with the XRP rich list. To be part of the 10%, you have to hold 2,505 XRP. To be part of the 5%, that is 9,140 XRP. 4%, 11,533 XRP. 3%, 17,292 XRP. To be part of the 2%, that is 27,300 XRP. And to be part of the 1%, you have to hold 53,000 XRP, right? So to be part of the 10%, that is very achievable. That is only 2,500 XRP, which is around $5,000, $6,000. And this is a POV of if you invested $10,000 in XRP 6 months ago instead of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we can see, guys, we have XRP outperforming both Bitcoin and ETH. And we can see at the end, your 10,000 investment would have gone to around $50,000 at its peak within the last 6 months. So, guys, this is why we invest into XRP. And we have more breaking news in the crypto space, and that is North Carolina opening the door to crypto and pensions. We have now pension funds entering the crypto space. And guys, if pension funds start buying XRP, we could easily see XRP hitting the $10+ and above, guys. Again, this is very bullish for the crypto space. As we said, we have everyone investing into the markets. And today is another big day as we have the SEC Sunshine Act notice. We have a closed meeting happening with the SEC from 2 p.m. on Thursday, March 27th, obviously happening on a Thursday, as BG123 said. I love Thursdays. And we should see the US SEC Commission voting today on the court to lift the injunction that was placed on Ripple and finalize the documents for the Ripple versus SEC case. Guys, the case is over. And once we see the injunction being lifted, we will see institutions being able to buy XRP from Ripple. The price of
Army, we just got some big news for Ripple and for XRP. A big, massive XRP Ripple partnership was just announced. We're going to break down why this is so impactful, why it's so important. And before we get in there,
will reverse because
listen, I know
see what
everybody
crypto-
wants to see the XRP price skyrocket today, right? Like right now. And a lot of people, when I make these videos, think these aren't big stories. They're not big news pieces. They are. You have to play the long game with XRP. Okay. If you were stacking XRP at 50 cents during the lawsuit, you understand where I'm coming from. But so many people just want to get rich in crypto quick. That is not the way to win. The way to win in crypto is to stay in the game, invest for the long term. Think about this. When you invest in the stock market, your 401k, you don't like sit there every single minute on the hour wondering when the price is going to skyrocket and you're going to become a millionaire overnight. It's not how it's played, guys. It's not how it works. XRP is a long-term game. The entire financial system is shifting and changing. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about being early to something big. And that is why I'm invested in XRP. It's why you subscribe to this channel, because we're realists. We're not going to feed you a bunch of BS that says we're going to go to $1,000 per coin tomorrow. It's not going to happen. However, we're bullish on XRP because of the news stories that I'm about to break down here in this one and so many of the other videos. So that is why you subscribe. And a lot of people watch these videos without subscribing. It really does mean a lot to me if you do subscribe, guys. And I promise you, I can say this: I will be here every single day giving you guys the information you need. Now, if you guys are heavy into trading, before we get into this news story, Bidify, they partnered up with me. We are doing a massive contest right now. And it's a huge trading competition. There's a link down below. You can sign up, get started. They've got spot trading. They've got everything you need, guys. Amazing exchange to get started with. It's the first link down below in the description. Sign up, start trading with me today. You are not going to be disappointed. Great place to trade. I've been working with them for a very, very long time. And let's get into this top story, because Ripple and Chipper Cash just partnered. And if you're wondering what Chipper Cash is, well, I've got you covered here. So Chipper Cash is a fintech firm focused on Africa to enhance cross-border payment solutions. So one of the things about Ripple is they do not shy away from partnering with companies outside the United States. Yes, they're a US-based company, and for a long time, they couldn't even operate in the United States because they were in this lawsuit. Well, that's obviously gone, done with. We finally defeated the SEC. But business is still being done outside the United States, and Africa is a huge opportunity right now in crypto. This collaboration aims to leverage Ripple's tech, specifically Ripple payments, to facilitate faster and more cost-effective transactions into Africa using crypto. The partnership is viewed as a huge move towards improving financial inclusion and efficiency across African markets. And we're going to get more into this. And by the way, we're going to take a look at the price in this video. Don't go anywhere. We're going to break down a lot of other things for you guys as we proceed in this video. But this is a big deal, okay? Because Africa's evolving payment landscape, there's such a huge opportunity here, and it highlights the use case for XRP and the possibility of Africa becoming a key region for crypto adoption. Anywhere where they need like a hard reset, like Africa and any third world country, there's a lot of countries within Africa, third world, that need this hard reset. XRP is the solution. It is why it's built. Now, XRP is also built for businesses, big banks, but it's not just that, right? Like XRP's got this narrative now that it's only a big banking coin. That's a piece to the puzzle. And especially with tokenization and all of that, you know, tokenizing US treasuries, US equities, other financial instruments, big deal. A lot of liquidity, a lot of money. And I think that's coming. And one of the things going to proliferate that is XRP ETFs that I think are going to be, as Brad Garlinghouse said recently, probably issued later this year in 2025. But it doesn't stop there. XRP and Ripple payments specifically can be used to reignite and rejuvenate various parts of the world. And that is what's going on right now. Now, from a price standpoint, because I know you guys are interested in where we are on that today, we'll take a look at the technicals. We had a nice pop yesterday up to 246. We've got a little resistance there. And all of a sudden, things have turned a little bearish on our technicals with XRP. Now, this is short term, and things can flip and change on a dime. So in order for us to get back into bullish territory, reclaiming that 245 mark would basically flip all the technicals bullish yet again, because we'd flip our 30-day moving average, our 50-day, and our 100-day EMA and SMA. So 245 is really crucial. Next time we go up there and retest it, I want to see us show strength above that level to really push the ball forward here with XRP. Now, short-term price action, things change. Things, they're all over the place, right? You just never know. Long term, guys, I am extremely excited about XRP later this year because I think liquidity is going to be unlocked as we get into August, September, October, and this is where I think really the big opportunity for crypto is. And these type of partnerships that are being inked now are a big deal because they set the stage for when liquidity does come back in the markets. These type of things rear their head, right? They come to the forefront and they allow everything to work. So you want to see XRP and Ripple, specifically Ripple payments, being utilized for when the markets get to a point where we have mass adoption and that event occurs, which I think we're getting there. We're slowly getting, but right now there's a great opportunity. We're still super early to all of this, right? And that's how you have to look at it. You got to play the long game with XRP and with assets like this that are extremely built for the long term. Now, there are some people showing some technical indicators that look pretty solid. XRP formed a great bullish rectangle pattern here. This consolidation will be over very soon. We are seeing a lot of consolidation on the charts right now with XRP. If we come back here, we've been trading in a relatively tight range for a while here. And if we take a look at this, yes, we've come down to about $2. But if we zoom out here, really since early December, we've been basically trading sideways, waiting for the next big leg up. And I think when that happens, we're going to see all-time highs with XRP. And a lot of that, I think, is going to come once the whole issue with tariffs and all of that subsides and we have liquidity coming back in the market. What the United States is doing right now and Donald Trump, it is, again, a long game. It's not a short-term Band-Aid fix. But as we get to the back half of 2025, and I believe into 2026, this is where I think we could see some massive run-ups and see this chart really take off for XRP. So I appreciate you guys for watching the video. One quick last plug for BuyDeFi, guys.
So thanks to Zach Humphreys in joining the Black Tiger Miner or BTM Crypto News Network. That was some useful information there as well. And as he mentioned, guys, you got to be patient, right? This whole process is about patience. As Warren Buffett says, the people who get rich are the ones who invest and hold, not who buy and sell and then day trade and move around. It's the ones who get in early and hold and ride it all the way up. So that's just a food for thought. But I'll let you go this evening. Thanks for joining this Friday Eve, which is Thursday. And we're getting a lot closer to Friday. But thanks for joining. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. Miner out.